Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Cosmic Circus comic special. Today, I'm joined once again by Vic, and we're going to be talking about the Superman trailer. Da 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 da.
Uh,
Is that
hello.
is, is that a loincloth? What is he wearing?
He's wearing a Chinese armor.
Uh, all right. Okay. Okay.
I don't
Elseworld.
know. I'm currently hunting for the other Funko Pops, but it's not the topic of our discussion.
All right. Remember, of course, we're a video podcast, so if you're listening to us in audio form, be sure to check us out on YouTube so that you can see Vic's Superman toy with the Chinese loincloth. All right, let's get into it. So, Superman 2025 launch, I guess, of the new DC universe, directed by James Gunn, written by James Gunn, starring David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult. Vic, let's just start with it. What do you think of this new trailer?
Amazing,
Okay,
fantastic,
okay.
beautiful,
Sarcasm?
emotional.
Serious?
No, no,
Really? Really? Really?
yeah.
Okay, okay.
No,
Wow.
remember those memes with SpongeBob where he's doing with his hands something like this
Uh
and
huh.
his
Uh huh.
titles up. So I'm just doing the same thing, but I'm speaking my
We need
emotions out
special
loud.
effects. Okay.
Yeah, special effects.
All
Yeah,
right.
but this trailer was more of a teaser. It was epic,
Mm-hmm.
but in a very fun way, in a very
Mm-hmm.
calm way, and
Mm-hmm.
especially in the very emotional way for me,
Okay.
because I noticed a lot of Easter eggs. I noticed
Okay.
a lot of connections to the previous iterations of Superman.
For sure.
uh, I felt every single connection with this character that I hoped I will have.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and damn, it was a very good trailer.
You think so?
Like,
I felt it was less of a trailer and more of a sizzle reel. Let me elaborate, I guess. I felt it was showing a lot of like cool scenes, like here's the actors, here's the characters, here's some action beats.
mhm,
But like when I think about a trailer, I feel like there's supposed to be some kind of cohesive message,
yeah,
some
mhm,
feeling that comes with it. Um, I hate to bring him up so soon, but Zack Snyder's teaser trailers for Man of Steel, his trailers for Man of Steel, phenomenal. They really make you feel something, especially with the music choices. And there's like, if you remember those original teaser trailers with Russell Crowe and
bro, I was watching them
Kevin
yesterday.
Costner, yeah, like
I was coming home from work and I was just watching every single Superman trailer that
yeah,
I.
and that's such a different approach to Superman. And I'm not going to talk about which one's better or worse, but I think it's so successful at portraying what will make this Superman different from Donner's. And James Gunn's teaser, I didn't feel that kind of cohesion. I felt it's like here's a lot of cool scenes, here's some stuff to get you excited, but I didn't feel that there's like one message that he's trying to give us. What do you
Yeah,
think?
he was trying to hype people,
Okay.
give them hype instead of showing us what the plot will be about.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like if you remember the trailers for example, Superman Returns, you had this Return of Superman,
Yeah. Okay.
and then we just cut in the trailer to the action, to the plot, what will happen more or less. We saw Lex Luthor and all that. And even in the last trailer for Man of Steel, you saw the origin of Superman, you saw the destruction of Krypton, and you the scenes were longer.
Hmm.
Like you had at least 5 or 6 seconds of a single scene. And here it's like you only the longest scene is the one with Superman on the Antarctica,
Okay.
where
North
he
Pole, probably.
crashes on
Probably
the
North
North
Pole.
Pole,
Yeah.
where the fortress is,
Hmm.
where he crashes, and that's it. The other scenes are like 2, maybe 3 seconds long, and that's it. It's
Yeah.
like probably James Gunn cut this trailer. He edited it probably, and
Hmm.
he thought like, what should I do to give people what they want and to create a big hype for this movie?
Hmm.
And it's not like the hype wasn't already under the roof, but like,
Yeah. They really hyped this up. There's like he personally had like a teaser to the teaser to the teaser trailer message. Then there's a teaser to the teaser trailer. Then there's the teaser trailer. There's a countdown. There's like a YouTube at such a random time, like 7:53 a.m. or something.
yeah, it
Bizarre,
dropped
but
at 2:56 our time,
why?
2:56 p.m. instead of 3 p.m.
So
I don't know.
strange. But anyway, coming from because both of us were like huge Superman fans, right? I've been a lifelong Superman fan. You're more recent, but you've gone
Hmm.
hardcore, right? You're like hardcore Superman. Coming at this from a Superman fan point of view, especially from the comics, from what you know from the Arrowverse, from the animated shows, what did you think about this and the iconography and the Easter eggs?
And the animated movies. Don't forget about those
Absolutely,
because
absolutely. The DCAU more than anything. Yeah.
yeah, all those animated movies are very not appreciated enough. They're really good. I know you hate Tomorrowverse,
Oh,
but
it stinks. It stinks. Oh
we
God,
should
get that
not
out
talk
of here.
about that.
Get that out of here. But
Uh,
if you go back to the OG stuff, the original animated movies, top tier, top tier. Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Let's not talk
Anyway,
about that. But
back to this one. Back to this one. 2025.
yes, back to this one. Um, yeah, what we were talking about? Yeah,
How do you
I know.
feel about yeah?
Yeah, I really like the idea of connecting all the previous incarnations of
Hmm.
the Superman.
Hmm.
Like, I feel Christopher Reeve, I feel Brandon Routh, even though they're more or less the same
Yeah.
incarnation. I really feel Tyler Hoechlin, especially.
You think so?
Like, yeah, I especially in the scene with Papa Kent, with
Hmm.
Jonathan, I really
Hmm.
felt this heartwarming Clark Kent.
Hmm.
I really felt, even in some moments, I really felt like Henry Cavill's incarnation was a part of this Superman.
Okay.
And don't forget, James Gunn said that he really loves Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Like, Man of Steel is one of his favorite Superman projects.
Hmm.
Like, who would expect that?
Yeah.
And the essence of Superman from the comic books and from the animated movies, especially because I feel like they are the most accurate.
Okay.
Like the animated movies are the most accurate because they had a lot of action, a lot of story,
Hmm.
and they had a budget
Hmm.
to show Superman interacting with Justice League, interacting with other villains, and all that. And especially the most recent, the was it the Man of Tomorrow, the first Tomorrowverse movie?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt a lot of connections to this movie, especially because Rachel
Hmm.
Brosnan
Hmm.
looks a lot of like Lois Lane from this movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Because Man of Tomorrow, also My Adventures with Superman, both of those are like kind of updating, modernizing Superman, a very sci-fi way. Also Man of Tomorrow, what we were talking about, it has that big parasite kaiju, right?
yeah, especially yeah.
Which was really cool, actually. Actually, I give it credit for that. It was really cool. And this movie, this trailer, I like that it has like monsters. I like that it's very sci-fi. Crypto is I loved Crypto in this. That was my favorite part. And I like the sci-fi stuff. I'm not super sold on how it looks. But
Please don't say it looked like a CW show. Please, please
no,
don't.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Thank
Superman
God.
and Lois looks much better.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like,
You agree? You agree?
yeah, but it's
But they're
because they have a
different. They're
different
different.
style. Like,
Completely different. It's
and when
like
you look at Superman
mhm,
Legacy, it looks like the Suicide Squad. It looks like Peacemaker. It looks like Guardians of the
but
Galaxy Volume 3.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it looks like it looks exactly like every single from the previous movies of James Gunn.
Yes, it looks like whatever choices they made are a completely intentional choice. It's not like a mistake. It
And people
looks
are
how he wants it to
surprised.
look. Yeah.
Like,
Like there's that scene where he's in the glass and he's like punching, and that looks exactly like the hallway fight from Guardians 3,
yeah.
right? So I'm really interested to see because James Gunn as a filmmaker is also evolving, right? So I'm interested to see what he does with that. Um, Coming back to the comics, what were some clear inspirations that stood out to you?
Oh, especially the All-Star Superman, the Superman for all seasons.
Give me examples, specific examples.
Okay,
So
so
like
okay,
the kaiju
the
fight, for
kaiju.
example, that's straight
Uh,
from All Star,
yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly. I even have the comic book with me, so I'm gonna show
Yeah,
this
yeah.
quickly. It's right in the beginning.
I
Come
think it's the
on.
first issue, right? There's like the weird monster
Yeah,
attacking Metropolis, and he has like necklaces or something.
yeah, but it's not a
Weird,
kaiju
weird
size.
comic.
Yeah. Oh, it's right here.
There you go. That's my guy.
Yeah, but it looks more like a Killer Croc mixed with Red Hulk and
Yeah.
all that. But yeah, but also Superman for all seasons, especially. I really
With that
love the
scene
idea.
with Pa Kent, that feels
Yeah,
very all for all
it's
seasons. Yeah.
it's probably my favorite scene from the trailer.
With Pa Kent.
I really love watching Superman who is vulnerable, who is like Superman is supposed to be connected with people, with
Hmm.
humanity,
Hmm.
and Clark Kent is supposed to be connected with his family.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know if you kind of understand
No,
what I
no, no, no.
mean, but
And for all these superheroes, like I think they really have to focus on the humanity of the character.
yeah.
Um, recently, I just recorded my unboxing video for the Blade Omnibus, and in that one, I talked a lot. I don't know, it's an hour long video. I have to cut it down, but I talked a lot about how they have to focus on the human, not the hunter, and it's
Yeah.
the same for Superman. You have to focus on the man, not the super. He's a regular guy. He grew up on a farm. And then he went to the city. He met a girl. He has superpowers, but he's just a regular guy, right? And his family's from a different culture, but he was raised in America, right? He's just an immigrant, you know?
Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, but for the entire trailer, Superman doesn't smile even once.
He doesn't even talk other than to Crypto. That one line to Crypto is the only time he
Yeah,
talks, right?
exactly.
A
And
little
I'm like,
intentional, but
yeah, but I'm saying that people already started to point out that, oh, you think Zack Snyder's Superman was bad? Like he wasn't smiling.
yeah.
Like I really hate people who try to trash this trailer, to trash
Hmm.
this Superman,
Hmm.
and they just pick up the worst arguments possible, like the easiest
Yeah.
ones, like arguments that don't even have a logical sense.
Yeah.
The movie isn't out yet. Like,
Right. We have a
come
long time.
on.
Like I have issues with the trailer, but I'm not gonna be petty about whether or not he's smiling.
Yeah,
Especially like they still do show him heroically. They show him
exactly.
saving that girl, right? They show him. I don't know. It's a lot of action shots in the trailer, and we're not quite clear on a lot of the context. How did you feel about the Zack Snyder callbacks?
Amazing. Like, I
Yes, they
didn't
made you
even
happy. Yeah.
notice them at first.
Hmm.
I only noticed them after people pointed them out on Twitter or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like I do not hate Zack Snyder's Superman. Let it be
Hmm.
clear. I really
Hmm.
like it. I really love Man of Steel. Man of Steel is amazing Superman movie for me. And if James Gunn is making any callbacks, intentional or not, I do not care, but I do not care in a positive way.
It
Because
doesn't bother you. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't bother me. Like it's nice, but I care more about the story. I care more about the characters, about the action scenes instead of
Mhm.
callbacks. Callbacks are just nice for nice.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you remember that movie? Nice for you. Now let's go to the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's really nice, especially after the confirmation we've got that this movie is not an origin story, that Superman is already a hero for about a year or two.
Hmm.
Like Lois Lane knows who Clark Kent is. She works with him. I don't. Yeah, I think it's also a year and a half or 2 years they're
Oh, I
working
didn't know that.
together.
Okay. But I'm pretty
Yes.
sure Lois is higher than he is.
Yeah, yeah. Lois is always higher than Clark in Daily Planet until one of them becomes the editor in chief. But it's a long future.
Hmm.
But I really love the idea of what they did with Superman Legacy, comparing to what they did with Spider-Man Homecoming, where
Hmm.
you already know what who is this character, you know his origin story. You don't have to show the destruction of Krypton again. You don't have to show the 30 minutes of young Clark discovering his
Hmm.
powers or whatever. Like it's unnecessary. If you want, you have two movies
Hmm.
about three origin stories of Superman.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing people
About
say
that.
about Batman, right? You don't need to see
Yeah,
the Waynes die again and again and again.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I I'm interested in this because you probably noticed in this trailer we see the Fortress of Solitude.
Mhm.
I actually see it being created. I think we see the crystals going
Yeah,
up.
you see crystals emerging from the yeah.
We also see Kelex. I think his robot
Yeah,
assistant.
yeah, it's Kilax, yeah.
And so I'm really interested to see like exactly what stage of Superman is this? Are we seeing the fortress being created? Are we seeing his robot friend being killed? Or are we getting like snapshots through his
From
life?
what I know,
Hmm.
there are small flashbacks.
Okay.
Like there's a kid Clark, not a baby Clark Kent, but a very young Clark Kent.
In the
So I,
trailer?
no, no, in the movie.
Oh, okay. How do you know that?
I know stuff. Uh, James Gunn is standing right behind the door and is pointing his finger at me, like, watch
Oh,
out.
he's joining the Zoom call.
Yeah, yeah, but I think that we're gonna see some small flashbacks,
Hmm.
but I really believe that this movie will have plot twists that are not one shot plot twists
Okay.
that you'll be able to easily understand, even if you rewatch and be surprised even after you rewatch the movie for the fifth or sixth time.
Hmm.
And I really love the idea of just watching Superman in the cinema in IMAX.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll be with you, dude.
yeah,
We're
you'll
gonna
be
meet up and
with
watch it
me.
together for sure,
Yeah,
for sure. Now,
yeah,
I was just thinking, talk to you because the last time, remember we saw Guardians 3 together,
yeah.
right? And it just reminded me like what I my remember my biggest issue with this trailer is I don't like how it looks, right? With James Gunn, it's always about emotion and character, and with Superman, it has to be about emotion and characters. So if you think about it from that point of view, no matter how, even if it's the Flash cinematographer, I know James Gunn will deliver on the emotion and the characters. I know I'm gonna feel great in this movie theater with you, and I know it's gonna be an emotional, great experience, even if it looks like Dookie.
I'm just fighting myself not to say something.
Say it,
Like,
say it, say it.
okay, I'm gonna say it. If you exclude VFX, all the special effects from the Flash movie, and the dorky looking Barry Allen, this movie didn't look that bad.
I don't remember it.
What are you doing here? What are we doing here? What are we talking about? Like, okay, but let's get to the scenes because
Yeah,
the scenes looked very good. Like why are you still laughing?
because it's funny. You're funny.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
but when we think about this, when I think about the scenes from the trailer, I
Hmm.
don't think about color grading or anything.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
think about what they represent.
Hmm.
Like that little kid in Boravia who
Hmm.
puts up the flag, calling for Superman to help him to stop the civil war that's happening there.
Hmm.
The scene with the kaiju, like we start with Superman covering the girl from the fire,
Yeah.
and you know what it reminds me of?
Smallville.
Smallville, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
It's in the opening credits of like a
yeah,
couple seasons of him with the truck hitting and he's
yeah,
protecting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
protecting the
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's the that big kaiju behind him, and then we see fighting him. And it's like this whole teaser is supposed to tell this story.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
telling the story of
Hmm.
Superman. Like he's vulnerable, he's human, he's emotional, he's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
And I know I'm just jumping between things I want to talk about, but it there's a lot of stuff that I really loved about this trailer that I
Hmm.
noticed that
Hmm.
were hidden in the background or whenever in this teaser that are making me very emotional in a way
In a good
because
way, right? Hmm.
in a good way, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I think of Superman, I don't think about this hard ass who just fights bad guys and all that. I think about a person, or rather, superhero alien who
Hmm.
tries to protect other people, but not. But he also thinks about them. Like,
Hmm.
besides protecting them, like I saw the tweet that David Corenswet said to James Gunn that Superman must have trunks so that kids aren't afraid of him.
Hmm.
Like,
Which is actually what you if you think about Adam West's Batman and why he has like the eyebrows and looks like that. It's even more appropriate for Superman, right? He shouldn't be some weird alien skin thing, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I do want to say I love the Man of Steel costume, and I think it fits that version of Superman perfectly.
yes.
But this is a different Superman. Christopher Reeve was a different Superman, and I think it's really appropriate that every Superman their costume's a little unique to reflect that interpretation of the
Yeah,
character. Right?
especially Brandon Roof's Kingdom Come Superman.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
That was something else, but this costume is meant to connect all the other suits
Hmm.
to mix all the other suits into one. Like you
To
see
me, that's
the
interesting because
Kingdom Come logo.
it, to me, this suit feels like a rejection of all the other live action suits. For example, since Man of Steel, if you look at Man of Steel, if you look at Superman and Lois, his suit is very textured. And in this suit, there's like no texture. It has lines, but it's very flat and plain. And it doesn't have the traditional S at all. It's a completely different S. It has a collar. It has like the belt is weird and different. The trunks are different. Like to me, this suit is like a rejection of every live action suit. It's completely unlike any of them. It's not
Okay,
even
but
skin tight.
I can agree that it rejects all those suits, but it also honors them.
Go on, go on. How
Yeah,
so?
with the Kingdom Come logo
Hmm.
from the Kingdom Come suit. with the cape that it's similar to Tyler Hoechlin's Superman suit from
Okay.
Supergirl.
Okay.
Like he has all the I don't know how you call them.
But that one connects to the S, doesn't it? It didn't?
Okay, let me pull up it quickly. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's like they stop here.
Okay.
The cape stops here. It just emerges from here, but that doesn't matter. Okay, the
Yeah.
trunks, of course, Christopher Reeve and the classical Superman
Hmm.
look. And the whole pose, like and the curly hair, it's like something that I really love to see in Superman. His
Hmm.
small curly hair, it's something that I really loved, and also the color.
Hmm.
It's the direct callback to the New 52 Superman suit, which is my favorite Superman suit from the comic books.
Hmm. It's
So
updated a little bit. It looks a little bit smoother, but
yeah, but the suit is not bad. I think it's really, really good looking.
mhm.
And I know people didn't like it when they first saw it. Promotional art from bedroom when Superman is wearing his boots, and
I don't think that was the best photo. Yeah,
yeah, but it was okay. But when I see the suit, it looks much much better than on this art and
it
what we
does.
saw in early stages.
But it's interesting that like if you from my point of view, I'm noticing a pattern. That photo comes out. I'm like, I trust James Gunn, but I don't like how it looks. This teaser comes out. I'm like, I trust James Gunn, but I don't like how it looks. So this
Okay,
may just be some kind of production design issue over the whole movie. I don't know.
okay.
But
Now
I
I see at
really,
the
really trust.
suit,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
has a texture. It
yeah. But
has this.
not like the Man of Steel suit does.
No, no, no. But it's more hidden. Like the whole
Yeah.
suit, even the Hope logo is covered in this small dots or whatever
Hmm.
it is.
That's right. That's right. I know the has texture for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
but I
we have a
think
couple points here that I know you wanted to talk about. Pa Kent. This is really interesting to me because we see Pa Kent. We do not see Ma Kent. They look very sad. Do you think Ma Kent dies in this one?
I don't think they are sad. Maybe they are
Okay.
bonding. Like I don't want to
Okay.
believe that James Gunn will kill any of the Superman's
You
parents
think
in
we'll
the
get
movie.
both of them? That would be great.
Yeah, Mackenzie is already casted, so
Yeah,
we
but
have
she
to
could be
see.
cast for her death scene.
Let's hope not. I really want to drop the idea of killing Superman's parents.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Okay.
in the Justice League Unlimited, they're still alive.
Hmm.
In Superman, was it? In some Superman project, they're also alive. In the Injustice, if they're
Hmm.
taking some inspiration from the Injustice comic books, where it's Mama Kent who dies, not Papa
Hmm.
Kent,
Hmm.
then I know where they may be going with that, but it's not something that I.
If you go back to Superman and Lois, remember, Pa Kent's already dead, and this is the end of Superman's right at the end of his time, and Ma Kent dies in season one,
Yeah,
and I
in
like
the
that because you
pilot.
get to see
Yeah.
him. Yeah, was it really in the pilot? He
Yeah, she
dies in the
dies in the
pilot.
first
Oh
15
wow!
minutes of the first,
Dang.
and that's why they moved to Smallville.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I already forgot, but I remember she was in it, and I didn't like the actor very much. If go back to Smallville though, I really like how Smallville starts with both parents, and then about halfway through the show, Pa Kent dies, and it's a turning point in the show, but it's a great part of his story. It's not the beginning, it's not the end, but it's the middle because
Yeah. Hmm.
it's the transition period when he
It
starts to really become
was season
Superman,
5. Yeah, season 5.
almost like in the middle of the show, right? And my favorite one of my favorite lines from Superman the movie is the funeral for Pa Kent, and he's like all these powers, and I still couldn't save him. Like that hits you, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
for me, I think it's important when one of them dies,
Okay.
because I think it's like some kind of turning point in his maturity and understanding that he can't save everyone. That sometimes just natural death happens, but that's part of why he still keeps trying to save whoever he can save. I think.
Okay, I think
Hmm.
that I really want them to be alive in this movie.
Yeah.
Papa Ken or Mama Ken, they can die later, but I really want to see one movie where Superman's parents are alive
Yeah, I
and
understand. Yeah.
he has a connection with them. But there's also this theory that uh, when one of his parents dies, he loses all the hope. Like people are against him, the world is against him. He doesn't want to save people. He loses all hope, and Lois brings back this hope.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I don't think we should go deeper into this because
It's kind of dark. I don't know.
yeah,
I want to mention also the animated series from the '90s. Both parents are still alive, and it's really nice because like when he comes back and he has like a Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving or something with the Kents. I think that's really sweet that he has a happy family.
Yeah, he
Um,
brings John Jones with him, the Christmas
yeah, yeah,
party.
yeah.
It's like
So I think with
nice.
Superman, you can go either direction. I think it just depends on the storytellers and what they want to do with the character.
Yeah.
In my opinion, just I like having one of the parents die, and it gives them a sense of tragedy, but also helps them understand how fragile human life is. That it's not like Batman; it burdens him, but it just reminds him that okay, people can feel the loss too, and I want to help save that.
Yeah, I
I
think
guess.
that this
Mhm.
Superman incarnation is supposed to be what Zack Snyder tried to do with Superman in Batman v Superman, where he's very depressed or has problems or is very vulnerable. And I don't think that he needs his parents to die in order to show this.
Yeah. It does feel a lot. I see what you're saying, especially the scene with the people like throwing cans at him and stuff. That's straight from Zack Snyder, but but I don't know. It's not as drenched. It's not as like broody as the Zack Snyder
Yeah,
version. But it's a similar shot, right? It's a similar idea. Hmm.
yeah, but we don't know what happened. They're
Yeah,
throwing this. It's Luthor or whatever, but it's really interesting to see why people are against him saving them for let's say 2 years now or
yeah.
something like that.
How do you know these things?
This timeline, this time, the 2 years, 1 year and a half, 2 years. I'm just guessing based on what we've
Okay,
heard so
okay,
far.
okay.
That he's already established character. The other heroes are there, especially now that we know it's connected to Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad, Crucial Commandos. So
Hmm.
a lot has happened.
Hold on, my friend. Are you watching Creature Commandos?
Yes,
Did you watch the recent episode?
the fourth when we saw the second vision of
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm. Good stuff, right? Really good,
very good.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wasn't
And
expecting much, but
yeah,
I'm satisfied.
I think it's a great vision, and I think the timing's really interesting. I think it was on purpose that we get the Superman trailer and we get that episode, and both of them are like visions of the future of the DCU. Because also this trailer is not just showing a Superman, but it's kind of introducing us to an entirely new universe,
Yeah, we have
right?
Teen Titans, we have Batman, we have Wonder Woman, we have Blue
Starfire,
Beetle.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have
So
everyone.
I think it's really interesting that on the like the
And
same week,
Superman is on a cross.
right? Right. So I think the timing was intentional. That he's like, this is the week I'm going to show you the new universe,
Yeah,
and I like between both of these projects that he's not just debuting one project at a time, that he's actually building a whole universe wide at a
yeah.
time. And I think
I also,
it might get
mhm.
too big, but I think it's an interesting approach.
Yeah, I
Go on.
also like the idea of showing the entire universe's visions because he can easily change his ideas later and say that
Yeah.
these visions were manipulated or whatever.
Hmm.
They're like
Hmm.
possible futures.
Exactly.
So Superman may no, not Superman, but Batman may look differently, Wonder Woman may look differently, Starfire may look differently. Everything else can happen very different
Hmm.
way.
Hmm.
So that's why I think producing already established universe through her visions,
Hmm.
through Saoirse's visions, is a very good to show people that hold on, it's not the same universe as Zack Snyder's DC, Snyderverse or whatever you want to call it, but it's completely new universe that you already may know, but
Hmm.
it's very very different and it may change.
Yeah. I coming back to Superman, I do like how cartoony and kind of plasticky, I guess, this universe looks. It's a very unique aesthetic. It's almost hard to notice how unique it is.
Yeah, I
Um,
also love it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm mixed on how it actually comes out, but I appreciate the attempt. That this feels like it's not doesn't feel like our regular Earth. Like if you look at Marvel, they tried to say this is New York City, but here they're like this is Metropolis. It's a fantasy, different fictional
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
What did you think about Clark Kent in this? Also,
Oh, very
did
good.
you see the GIF of Superman twisting
Yes.
around into? What do you think? What do you think?
Oh, bro, very good. Very good stuff.
Okay,
I loved him from the moment I noticed he's wearing oversized clothes. I know it's a weird thing.
it's from All Star Superman, right?
Yes,
From All
exactly.
Star.
But him wearing oversized clothes, him having very weird haircuts,
Yeah, the
like
glasses, everything. It's like,
a very
ugh.
different, very weird pose, like
Even
being clumsy.
his tie is like weird and off to the side. Like
Yeah, it's like
this is not a fashionable guy. He's not aesthetic.
yeah, I think it's Yeah, it's taken straight out from Christopher Reeve's Superman. Like,
I would say it's even more exaggerated, I think. Because Christopher Reeve, he still looks like a very handsome, normal guy. This guy is like just a dork.
yeah, yeah, exactly. When he's wearing glasses, Clark Kent is looking like a dork or
Hmm
not a
with
good
the
looking
haircut
guy.
and like
Yeah,
everything, he
but
looks
when
like a
he's
dork.
Superman,
Dork.
yeah, my mom
Yeah.
said he's the most handsome Superman we've had.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. I think Henry Cavill might for me, I think I'd say he's the most handsome. But the thing is, his Clark Kent looks like a model. His Clark
yeah.
Kent looks like a model. That that doesn't really check out, right?
Ah,
And
I
I
mean,
think
not a problem for
one of
me.
my biggest issues with the Snyder movies with Superman, I mean, I have a couple issues, but I really wanted more Daily Planet. I really wanted a proper Man of Steel 2 where we see him at the Daily Planet, where we see him with a dual identity, just
Mhm.
like a proper, just traditional Superman movie. Like Man of Steel is a great introduction, but I wanted a whole movie
Yeah, Man
of
of
just
Steel 2
Superman.
was supposed to touch on
I
this
know,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
but
because
unfortunately,
because
nope.
Man of Steel ends in a great place, setting up basically what James Gunn is about to give us now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I liked his look as Clark Kent and the Man of Steel stuff, but I just feel he's a little too pretty. And
Yeah,
David
but I
Corn
think
Sweat, yeah, mhm,
that's what Superman that's what Clark Kent is supposed to look like. Like he's this nice guy, nice
mhm,
looking guy, but if he taking care of himself, he look very good, very good. But it's the point.
mhm.
It's the whole point of Clark Kent's identity. Like he
Have
must
you?
be dorky. People
Yeah,
must ignore him. He
yeah,
cannot be recognized. So,
yeah. Have you ever read Birthright by Mark Waid?
oh no, I don't so
Oh, you
know.
should. You really should. So that's early 2000s, before All Star, but it was they were all brainstorming ideas together.
Mhm.
Mark Waid, Grant Morrison, I think Jeff Johns, a couple of them. Mark Miller, who also did Superman
Uh,
Red Son. Like all of them were brainstorming ideas together in the 90s, Superman ideas. Then they all branched out into different comic books. So
mhm.
Mark Waid and Grant Morrison together, they were talking about this idea of the Clark Kent disguise. So if you read Birthright, it goes into a little more detail than even All Star did, because in Birthright you actually see him trying on like different outfits and trying to figure out who Clark Kent will be.
Okay, so,
Does that make
so
sense?
just like in Smallville.
Very similar. Birthright and Smallville go hand in hand, seriously, because they're
Okay.
even published at the same time.
Yeah.
Very similar books, and that's also
Oh, now I see.
yeah, Birthright is also where Clark and Lex are friends as kids. So it's seriously very similar to Smallville.
Okay. Okay.
And that's one thing I wish James Gunn was doing. I wish he had Clark and Lex as friends when they were kids in this movie, but I don't think they're going to go there.
Okay. I see that they also announced the compact edition for the Superman Birthright, which is
Yeah,
supposed
you should
to
check it. You should check
it
it out,
should
dude. It's good.
it comes out 2 weeks before the movie,
Perfect timing.
June 24th.
Hey, hey, we should do an episode on that.
Yeah, but maybe
Yeah,
I'll get it
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. It's
We
a
have
good
to
one.
do a lot of
Yeah,
episodes about Superman
so
comics.
many. I don't think it's my favorite Superman origin, but it's a good one and it's very impactful. It's very similar to Smallville too, and
Yeah.
it does get very weird and science fiction at the end. So that's really good. Speaking of Smallville, they called it Luthor Corp instead of Lex Corp.
Mhm.
What do you think?
That this Lex Luthor tries to hide his big ego.
You think so?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I don't like Nicholas Holt. I'm not a
Hmm.
big fan of him.
In general?
His, in general, yeah.
Wow.
The only time I liked Nicholas Holt as an actor was in X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
which tells a lot. Like, he was, okay, he was okay in the menu,
Uh-huh.
but his other roles, I still haven't seen the Juror.
Oh, I've heard that's really good, dude. I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I
I
have
want to
to
see it.
watch it. Yeah,
Juror
I have
number
to
two.
watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, draw number two. But I wasn't his fan from the beginning when
Hmm.
when he was in Superman or Lex Luthor. I think he would have been a good metamorpho. Like when you switch Anthony Corrigan and Nicholas Hoult is works for me.
Anthony Corrigan as Lex Luthor is deranged. That would be so funny.
Yeah, but
That
it
would
would
be
be
the
also very
greatest
good.
SNL skit. That would be so funny.
Yeah, Victor Zash, but as Lex
Or have
Luthor.
you seen Barry? He's really funny in Barry.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I've seen
Yeah.
Barry. He was
Yeah.
also in Gotham. He was also in The
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah. He's in
Yeah,
everything, dude. Um,
yeah,
I don't. I like Nicholas Holt. I think he looks a little bit weird as Lex, but I'm
yeah,
interested. I'm interested to see because I think that might be intentional. Whatever they're doing, because this Lex to me does not look intimidating. He looks like a little
yeah.
punk kid. like a little wannabe baby man. So
To
I'm
me, he looks
interested to
like a
see.
guy who doesn't know what to do and he just
Yeah,
gets angry at everything. And
yeah. Like they gave us two shots where he's like, "Ah!" Okay, that's not
yeah,
my intimid. That's not intimidating.
and he
So
holds
I'm
a gun,
interested.
and that's it.
Yeah. So
Like,
I'm interested to see how this will be different because I trust it'll be different. And I'm
yeah,
sure you saw. I'm
I
sure you
al- I
saw.
also
They
yeah,
both said that they love Michael Rosenbaum Lex. And everyone on Earth who's a Superman fan knows Michael Rosenbaum is the GOAT. He's one of the
yeah,
best Lexes we've ever had, right?
he is. I also really want to believe that this Lex Luthor will be amazing, but I have to see the whole movie before
Uh,
I say he's
I
amazing.
agree.
Even if he will be extraordinary in the second trailer or whatever,
Hmm.
I still have to see the whole movie because his amazingness, him being fantastic.
Hmm.
I have to see the exact scenes where he plays, where he acts, because seeing him performing the craziness,
Hmm.
but also the brilliantness of Lex Luthor,
Hmm.
you have to experience it.
Yeah,
Just like with Kevin Spacey
yeah.
as Lex Luthor.
I think one thing that really I wanted that from this trailer that didn't give me was I really wanted to like at least get a sense of the new characters. Like Lois, I don't think we got enough with her. Lex, I don't think we got enough with um Clark and Superman. We kind of see them, but instead of showing us all these flashes from the action and the Justice League, I would have rather spent a little bit more time with just the core characters.
Not just the JSA.
This is the JSA.
I think it's the JSA, yeah.
I don't believe you. To
Yeah,
me,
because
I
we have
to
Guy
me it looks like the
Gardner, we have Hawk Girl, we have Metamorpho, we have
to
Mr.
me to me
Terrific.
it's more like the Justice League International.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's what you're
sorry.
thinking of.
It's a Justice
Okay.
League International because they're funded by
Max
Maxwell
Lord.
Lord.
Max
Yeah.
Lord. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
JLI. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
JLI. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you about that too. What was your impression?
I think it's what I wanted to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Guy Gardner, when you see him in the comic books, he's very weird.
Yeah.
He has this bald head. You
Yeah.
look at him and you feel like you're disgusted by him and you just want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
It's
Very, very
exactly the same
ugly.
in
Yeah.
in the teaser. Yeah, you see
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion, you want to punch him in the face.
Yeah. Somehow they made Guy Gardner even uglier than he is in the comic book.
And it's amazing. It's exactly the point. It's
Oh man.
exactly the point of Guy Gardner. Like
Back in the US, in my because I have a huge library of comics in the US. I had the entire JLI run, the entire run, and hardback because I found it at a used bookstore. I think I've told you my hometown had
yeah,
a
yeah.
great used bookstore. The entire run, 50% off. I bought them all, dude. I haven't even read all of them, but I'm so
Hey.
happy that I have them, and now they're stuck in a storage unit somewhere. But someday I'll pull them out and I'll read them, and maybe I'll sell them for a lot of money.
I hope so. Yeah, but I really like the whole idea of JLI being funded by Maxwell Lord
Mhm.
and getting all those ugly suits in order for them to destroy them later in the movie and get the proper suits.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the only hero that looked very good was Mr. Terrific.
Hmm.
I think Ateli
Better
was
than an arrow.
similar because I think
His
they
hair is better.
yeah, his hair is better, but I think it was very similar. It was a very similar suit.
It's a pretty classic look to do. Yeah.
Yeah, but he looked very, very good, even with all those Maxwell Lord's
Hmm.
tags or
Did you
whatever.
see the T spheres? He had some T spheres
Yes,
going around.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
bro, I'm so hyped to see him.
Yeah.
But
I have a nice Mr. Terrific comic rec if you want to read. It was from Jeff Johns' Justice Society of America.
mhm,
I think it's called Die Kingdom Come. It's
okay.
basically a sequel. It's a sequel to Kingdom Come by Jeff Johns, and in it,
Wait,
Mr. Terrific.
was he in Kingdom Come? I thought Hal Jordan was on the old
No,
Hal
I'm talking
Jordan.
about Mr. Terrific. Hold on.
Oh,
So
on Mr. Traffic, sorry, yeah.
this is Justice Society of America. It's from like the mid 2000s. It's called Die Kingdom Come, I think. And Mr. Terrific has a really nice arc in there, and he talks about his backstory. And he
I didn't know that Kingdom Come has a sequel.
there's a couple attempts at sequels. They're
I
not
have to
super
buy them.
popular.
I have to buy
Yeah,
them. Kingdom Come
yeah,
is my favorite comic book that I've read so
yeah.
far.
Yeah. There's a couple comics that build on the legacy of Kingdom
Yeah,
Come,
but it's
but
mainly because of Alex Ross and his art.
his art, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did do some new covers. For example, if you've seen from Kingdom Come, if you've seen the classic picture with Superman standing with his hands like
Hmm.
this, that is from Jeff Johns' Thy Kingdom Come. That's not from the original Kingdom Come.
Nice.
That's from that. Yeah. Anyway, Jeff Johns' whole Justice Society is really good. You should read the whole run. It's
Okay.
really long, but it's really good.
Okay, you should send it to me after.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
take
will.
a
I
look at
will. I
it.
will for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I think we
It's a
should
good
also do
recommendation.
a episode on the Justice International stuff
That would be
about it.
great. Yeah, yeah, and I might dive into some of those again
Yeah.
because I really think James Gunn is going to pull a lot from those
Mhm.
because they're goofy, they're funny, and there's a lot of characters, a
And
lot of
and
characters,
they are a very important part of this movie. So
a huge part, and Max Lord, played by Sean Gunn, has been
yeah,
confirmed, which is going to be amazing. So I'm
he's already playing 4 characters in DCU so far. So
he with Weasel, GI
GI
Robot,
Robot, Clayface, and Maxwell Lord.
Alan Tudyk is Clayface.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's okay.
stupid. Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm confused. It was a very long day.
It's
Yeah,
fine, man. It's
yeah,
fine.
but I think Sean Gunn is also playing some other roles.
Yeah, yeah, I think so
Yeah,
too.
I think Alan Tudyk is also playing Killex. I may be wrong, but
I'm
it
not
may be
sure, but I believe you, but I'm not sure.
it may be his secret role because we know he has a secret role in Superman Legacy. So
That would be pretty fun if he's playing Keelik. I know he's playing the creator of the Metal Men.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. William Magnus. Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Will Magnus. Yeah.
yeah, Will
Um,
Magnus. Yeah.
you had a point here about Barovia and Grodd. What do you want to say?
So Bravia is the country with the little kid putting up the flag where there's a
Yeah.
civil war happening.
Yeah.
It was a small event in the comic books where Superman saved his country from the civil war,
Okay.
and also there's a I don't think it was a police officer or security about Grodd was
I
in
thought.
Bravia in the
Uh-huh.
comic books, and there's a lot of stuff happened there. But I also think
Whoa.
it could have been Monsieur I forget the
Mala,
other
Mala in the brain.
yeah, Monsieur Mala, yeah. Yeah, but it's just a
Brilliant.
guess. But I think
That would
it's
be
more
that would
Grodd.
be that would be so rich. James Gunn doing Mala in the brain.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's even better than Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I think Grodd will be just mentioned. I don't think James Gunn wants to
I
overdo
agree.
this movie.
It's a little too distracting if there's too much
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Also, it's
But it
meant
would
to
be fun.
be. Also, it's meant to be a movie that does not set up other movies. Like it doesn't. It's not like Captain America: First Avenger, where you have a Tesseract
Right.
and it teases the Avengers or whatever. It's meant to be a standalone movie that is connected to the whole wider universe. But if it ends with it, it's not a problem.
Yeah. Like it's my understanding is that it's a standalone. It's a complete story set within this big universe, and this big universe can have other stories that are happening
Yes,
also.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Brave and the Bold and the Wonder Woman project.
Yeah. So I don't imagine like I don't think this will end on like a cliffhanger or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
no.
Good. Uh,
It ends on very good note, I think.
what do you think about the trial of Superman? What do you think is going on with that?
So it's the moment that we mentioned where people are throwing cans at him
Mhm.
and all that. I think it's that Superman failed or Lex Luthor set him up to
Like
fail.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah, or maybe it was Maxwell Lord who
Okay.
works with Lex Luthor, and they want to set up Superman in order to get other heroes to convince them to join them for money and to work for
Persuade.
them. Yeah, yeah, to persuade them. Because Superman, I think the Superman is already telling people that he doesn't do it for money, that he will help everyone to the best possibilities he can. And Maxwell Lord is trying to prove that people need superheroes, but they also need to reward them for the help.
Yeah, privatize. Yeah.
Yeah, privatize them. And I think it will be a very important part of the movie, especially when Guy Gardner and the others find out that it's not the way to do. And I think it will basically be an important part of Eddie Gaddy's Mr. Terrific, because Mr. Terrific is the most intelligent person on Earth. And why would he go into the scheme of Maxwell Lord like this? Why would he be a part of it when he already
That's a great
knows
point. That's a
he's
great
doing
point.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope they play up that because DC always calls him the third most important man in the world.
Yeah.
And when Tom King was writing Mr. Terrific, he actually implied that he's actually number one. He just pretends to be number
Yeah,
three.
you can also see it in Injustice where he overplays Superman when they're playing
Okay.
chess. Yeah.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
that's great.
The Injustice animated movie, not the comic book. But also, I really want to see where it goes because we know Rick Flag Sr. is in this movie.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
escorts Superman alongside with Ultraman.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we see where this goes because there is a plot twist there. I'm not gonna spoil it to you,
How do you know
but
all this stuff?
people. Yeah, but I really want to see it because I'm very
Yeah.
hyped for. I'm really hyped for this movie. Like I
Hmm.
when I see a trailer for a Marvel movie, I say I'm hyped, but I know it's gonna be bad or mediocre. But when I see everything from DC,
Captain
I'm like,
America.
yeah, bro, I'm so hyped for Cap. But let's not talk about Cap. Let's talk about Superman. This movie gives me a proper confirmation that this is a completely new universe, a completely new chapter, a
Hmm.
completely
Hmm.
new book.
Hmm.
So I have to cut myself from the past,
Yeah.
but still honor it, still watch those movies and all that. But I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped.
Did you want to touch on any other points about the alien sphere or Ultraman or Lois and Clark?
Maybe quickly because
Mm-hmm.
also Metamorpho looks really good.
Is that
His
Metamorpho?
Yeah, it
It
was
looks
Metamorpho.
different to me.
You see the purple part here, the orange part here. You
Yeah,
see
but
his
I don't know.
purple
It's
eyes.
a little. I have faith. I have faith. It just to me it looks a little different than what I imagined from like the Doc Shaner Terrifics comic or something like
Okay,
that.
he
It's a
looks
little bit
very
different.
realistic to me, so
Yeah,
I wanted to see that. I
yeah.
didn't want to
I
see
have faith. Yeah.
a paper head from paper put on Anthony Corrigan and let's act. No, 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 no. I wanted to see something realistic. Like Metamorpho is supposed to be a horror character, like a character straight from horror. So that's what I wanted to see, and that's what I got. Lois and Clark kissing. It's funny because at the
Multiple
beginning
times.
of the movie,
Yeah.
Lois still doesn't know that Clark is Superman.
Right. But
And
they accelerate in this one trailer. They already jumped through like the whole relationship.
exactly, and they kiss, and there's a scene where they're kissing, and of course Clark is not wearing glasses. He has a very normal, handsome hairstyle.
Hmm.
He's wearing a shirt, so I think it's a scene where she finds out, or he tells her,
Yeah.
and
I,
later, yeah,
I'm surprised how many scenes they showed together of like Clark and Lois, Clark and Lois, Clark and Lois, romantically, romantically, romantically. Um, like not just one. They showed it like two or three times. So I wonder. I think he's
yeah.
just trying to
Mhm.
hammer home because I don't know. In your opinion, do you feel Amy Adams and Henry Cavill do they ever have like enough romantic? Yeah,
As
not
much
enough.
as much as I love Snyderverse, no, like
Yeah.
it was more of a platonic relationship, I should say, rather than a romantic one. Maybe if they explored it more in Justice League 2 and 3 and Man of Steel
Or even
2,
just a Man of Steel too. Yeah,
yeah, but it didn't happen,
yeah,
so unfortunately.
yeah.
But Man of Steel was their relationship in Man of Steel was okay. Like it was the beginning of a relationship, it's okay, but
Man of Steel was honestly a very decent beginning. It's a different interpretation of Superman, but it
it
was
was
okay, and
yeah,
you can see where that character
yeah.
goes. And I just feel they kind of got too excited building out that
Hmm.
universe too quickly instead of just focusing on this one character, his one story, and maybe slowly, organically building something like that. But we'll
Yeah,
see because James Gunn is building his universe even faster, right? He's
yeah,
building it even faster than Snyder
yeah,
did,
Supergirl starts shooting in January.
right? And we're gonna have Lanterns next year also.
Yeah, yeah, Lanterns next year, and
Also, the
maybe
Batman Part Two, which is
yeah,
Elseworld,
and
but
Peacemaker.
in August, I think.
Yeah. So next
Peacemaker's right
year
after Superman.
we have three projects, two
It's a lot.
projects next year.
It's a lot.
To start shooting, maybe three or four, depends on the status of the authority, and the rest. Waller also.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
curious, like this Superman movie has so many characters from the universe. I wonder if they're going to continue this going forward. In Peacemaker, will we also see more side characters? And Lanterns, will we see more cosmic DC characters? Supergirl also will be very cosmic, right?
Hmm.
So
We
I
know
wonder how
that
that'll play out.
there's also a surprise female role or a
Yeah.
cameo
Do
in
you have any
Superman.
theories on that?
Yeah, I think it's a Supergirl. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty badly kept secret then. Like I would think it's something more surprising.
If it's something more surprising, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Because if
Because
it's
everyone's expects Supergirl to pop up in this.
yeah, because if it's a female character that's so easily gassed, then it's not
Mhm.
a secret to
Yeah.
me. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm not skeptical. I'm very optimistic. So
Okay.
so yeah, and we have
I
Ultraman.
mhm. I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith in the emotional storytelling in the characters, and that's
Yeah.
the most important thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I really want to see this very vulnerable side of Superman that's also very realistic and emotional.
Yeah.
Not that he starts to cry or starts to throw furniture or whatever and he's supposed to be angry. No, I want to
Yeah.
see Superman cry. I want to
Hmm.
see Superman.
Sensitivity. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see him losing all hope, just destroyed.
Hmm. Kind of like a Spider-Man 2 moment or something, right? Then he has to
E-
come back stronger.
Even more, even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. But that's what makes a really good character arc, right? They hit their lowest moment and they have to come back, and it's a triumphant finale, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Going back to one of your earlier points, I think I think a core point of this movie might be Kingdom Come and his idea of inspiring the other heroes, and that's why he has that Kingdom Come logo. That's
Yes.
really what I'm hoping to
Mm-hmm.
see, and especially based on this trailer, how we saw the Max Lord characters, the JLI. I think that it seems like they're setting that up right. That he will be
Mm-hmm.
the one who inspires all of them to not be corporate heroes, but to actually be heroes.
Yeah, maybe him and Mr. Terrific, because there's
Yeah.
also a scene. There
Hmm.
are also some photos from the
The
set
two
where
of
they're
them
standing
together,
together.
right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific is wearing another suit, or a different one than this.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
without the Maxwell Lord logo or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
also I think it was on the stadium where Superman is fighting Ultraman, or it
Okay.
was a very different
I,
location,
I
but at some
I
point they're
think I
standing
saw the
together.
two of them together outside the Hall of Justice.
Okay, so maybe that's
So that
where.
could be them like setting up the Justice League
Mm-hmm.
towards the end of the movie, maybe.
No, let's hope they're not setting. I want to see Justice League forming at the end of Chapter 1 with Justice League, the New Frontier
Hmm.
movie. Like,
Okay.
they can have team ups throughout the
Hmm.
movie, like
Sure. Sure.
Superman
Sure.
and Batman, or Superman fighting other villains with another
Yeah.
heroes beside him. But if Justice League has to form, it must be. I know it will be a very easy comparison, but just like the 2012 Avengers, there must be a threat huge enough for the heroes to get together
Hmm.
and fight this threat,
Hmm.
and in the end decide to form a League of Heroes.
Yeah.
And that's very easy. It's similar to
Okay.
what the Arrowverse did.
Yeah.
They formed Justice League six after 7 years. After 7 years. So this
Wait,
is
which universe are you talking about?
the Arrowverse.
Oh, Arrowverse. Arrowverse. Yeah, but that you know, it's different.
They formed the
I
Justice League after
yeah,
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
yeah. And I'm sorry, but for me, a Justice League has to have like one of the Trinity at least.
Yeah, I know, but they had
Yeah,
Superman.
I
Tyler
guess.
Hoechlin was a part of
Okay.
it. But
Okay.
it doesn't
Okay.
matter. I'm talking more about the process of creating the League.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It must take time. Heroes must be developed. Their connection, their
Mm.
relationship must be explored more. They just can't bring Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman together and go to
Mhm.
Wayne Manor, and say, "We need a table for three
Mhm.
seats now, but with a space for more." Like
Never seen again.
I really love Batman v Superman, but come on, this scene
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Um, but also if you think about the DC animated universe, they jumped right into Justice League because they had Batman, they had Superman, they crossed over a little, then
Yes.
suddenly
Mhm.
just Justice League just happens, right?
Yeah, but you already had this established universe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're discovering
Okay.
Green Lantern. They're rescuing Martian Manhunter. The
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman escapes Themyscira, and we have Justice League. And
Yeah.
it was that easy. Like you had
Yeah.
when I was watching the pilot for the first time a few years ago, I immediately felt that this universe is established, that these heroes are established, that they know about each other,
Yeah.
but they didn't have a crossover yet. So
Yeah.
let's make a show about them.
Yeah.
And
There's
it
a
worked.
lot of confidence in how they did it. And when you watch the shows before it, like even in Superman, like Flash shows up for a bit. I think Green Lantern shows up for something, right?
Mhm.
They do kind of start a little bit here, and then in
Yeah,
Justice League they just said, let's do it now.
it's similar to what they did in Batman from 2004 2005.
The Batman, yeah,
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 the Batman. Yeah,
great cartoon, yeah.
I have to say it's my favorite Batman.
Oh wow,
Batman
wow, I respect that.
animated
Yeah,
Batman. Yeah,
I love the intro. That intro
yeah.
is so cool. Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
And all the characters, they had a weird art style.
Hmm.
I'm not
But
gonna lie,
it was
but it
unique, you
worked.
know. Yeah, and
It worked.
it keeps it different from the Bruce Tim stuff, while
Mhm.
still being unique and fresh. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
Joker, Mr. Freeze,
Yeah,
Penguin. Oh, okay,
and
but
so
it's a very
no,
different topic.
but it's interesting because every version of DC has this new interpretation of like
Mhm.
classic characters, but even like live action animation. They transformed the characters in this new style, and we're going to see that
Yeah.
now with Superman
Also,
and
I
James
have
Gunn.
one theory.
Yeah.
Is that James Gunn is going with, we're gonna show the comic book versions first, the comic book adaptations first of the characters, and then we're gonna make them the more original one, instead of what Marvel is doing now, starting with original versions of the character and making them more comic book like giving
Oh,
them comic
interesting.
book suits after few years instead
Yeah.
of doing them already and then making them original.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I believe James Gunn will introduce all his characters as these comic book adaptations first, and then make them original instead
Hmm.
of what MCU is doing and was
And that's
doing,
really
is doing,
interesting.
and will be
So,
doing.
so what you're suggesting is that they're going to start accurate, and then they're going to evolve and become something different.
Exactly, exactly. That's the
Hmm.
way I was creating a universe
Hmm.
from the scratch, a movie
Hmm.
universe. That's the way I would do this. Because at any point in the when you're developing the universe, you have to change the way the certain character will behave or what it will do, and
Okay.
sometimes you can do this when you have all those safeties in order to make the superhero as most comic accurate as you can.
Hmm.
But sometimes you have to evolve and make them original, do something new, and abandon this comic book origin or this comic book link.
Hmm.
Of course, you can still honor some parts of it, but sometimes when you're creating a new universe, take a look at Absolute Universe.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
They did something new. They still honored some parts of the lore of these characters, but they did something new. 95% of this universe is something new,
Hmm.
and 5% is the whole legacy from the
Yeah.
comic books.
And
So,
it's an interesting point because I feel like DC is really good with the Elseworld stuff. They're really good with alternate universes, and because their characters are so iconic and they're so traditional, and like
uh, take a
they're each.
look.
Hmm. Hmm.
Take a look at Constantine. He's American, not
Hmm.
British, in Keanu Reeves' adaptation, and
Hmm.
they'll do something new in the sequel.
Hmm.
Like they still kept the idea of John Constantine being an exorcist, being a person who dabbles in black magic,
Hmm.
but he's American. He has a completely new origin story. He committed a suicide at some point and was banished. Like, what the hell? When
Hmm.
I was reading my John Constantine omnibus, the Hellblazer
Hmm.
omnibus, it didn't happen. Like, most of the stuff is something new, and I love it. That's why I love DC more than Marvel. I love Marvel, but
Hmm.
I'm more connected to the DC because they're not afraid of making their characters feel original, of taking a risk to create
Hmm.
something new. And I really appreciate, especially now, when they're doing a six Batman movie,
Hmm.
and it will be a sixth Batman movie and the 15, not the 15 years, but okay, let's say
Something like that. Yeah,
20
something like
years, and that's
that.
a lot. And they'll do they will take inspiration from the Brave and the Bold, and it will not be Dick Grayson as Batman, but it will be still Bruce Wayne as Batman with Damian Wayne and all that. So
I
they
think
want to, yeah,
let me maybe push back and also
okay,
support what you're saying. I feel like if you look at Marvel comics and in the movies, they have like a universe that mostly is consistent for a
mm-hmm,
long time. Consistent. There's no like crisis really. There's no New 52. There's no rebirth. Whatever is going on. No, no, no. It's mostly like just
mm-hmm,
one linear timeline. And both movies and comics, it's like that. And DC and movies and comics and TV shows, I think we constantly see like rebirth and reinvention. Like they keep rebooting and
mm-hmm,
reinventing, and they build on some ideas, they reject some ideas, and DC keeps trying and resetting and trying and resetting. And
mm-hmm.
in
Like,
some ways, I
let me
felt
point it
that.
out quickly
Mhm. Mhm.
because basically it's the reason why I hate the comic book Flashpoint and I love the Flashpoint from the Flash
This
season
show,
3.
yeah.
Yeah, because to me, my idea of Flashpoint is think on Barry Allen and on his choices and his problems
Yeah.
only, and not the
Yeah.
whole world around him, the whole war around him between Atlanteans and Amazonians. It must be focused on Barry Allen because he has time to absorb his happiness, but also he has the time to understand his mistakes. And in
Beautiful.
Flashpoint comic book, it takes around 3-4 days for whole event to start and end. And in
Hmm.
the TV show, it's like a span of 6, 7 months.
Now, something interesting. I don't think I've ever talked to you about. If you read the comic, not Flashpoint, the stuff before Flashpoint, building up to it, it's a little bit different because I think Jeff Johns wasn't planning on doing the whole New 52 thing with Flashpoint. He was just going to make it an event like Blackest Night or Sinestro Corps War or
Yeah.
something, just a big Flash event. And if you read it, it feels like it's smaller stakes but more personal, building up to it. Then the Flashpoint event happens and it becomes this huge line crossover. But I think the intention was something like what you're saying, and I think the intention got lost in all the like the corporate crossover stuff.
Yeah, especially in the comic books, there's a less space to show how Flashpoint affected other heroes, other planets, or whatever. Basically, it focuses mainly on Flash and his life. And in Arrowverse, in every show, you can see influence of the Flashpoint. In Legends, you have different timelines and the upcoming Time War where Barry sends a signal not to trust him. In
Mm.
Arrow, you have John Diggle, who before Flashpoint he had a daughter, now he has a son.
Hmm.
So it's like you can feel
Yeah,
the influence of Flashpoint on everything around Barry and all the things that he didn't discover yet. And in the
yeah.
comics, there's no space to do this. And I believe
The comics have like a bunch of tie-in issues where you can kind of feel that, but who reads all of those? And
yeah,
sometimes they're more focused on their own stories and stuff.
yeah,
I'm curious with this DCU if they're able to do something like that where they have a big universe event like the Blip or something like that, and because it seems for now he wants to be mostly standalone. But as we've seen
yeah.
with
Mhm.
Marvel, standalone and well, eventually stuff starts crossing over because that's the fun of
Yeah,
it
we
all.
know
And
that Guy
then it gets more
Gardner
complicated.
will
Yeah,
appear in Lanterns.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
James confirmed that he'll be a part. Like he will not be a big part, but he'll
Hmm.
maybe be a cameo or
Okay. Okay. That's
something.
fun.
But it makes sense. It also makes sense for Blue Beetle will return because we know
Hmm.
that Shallow is back. Who else was there? Terrific, Mr. Terrific. Maybe he'll make a Terrifics. I hope
Yeah, that
so.
would be great. That'd be great with Metamorpho and
Plastic Man?
Plastic Man and
Yeah.
Phantom Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we already have 2 out of 4, so
Uh,
that's not bad. And I also want to say that I really want to see this universe to evolve in a very good way, and not a too fast and not a too slow
hmm.
one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like they have to perfectly measure the way they can introduce the viewers to some certain things, to some certain projects. Because if you do The Brave and the Bold right after Superman Legacy, then you're going from Superman to Batman, from Batman to Wonder Woman, and it doesn't make sense to introduce people, rather reintroduce people
Hmm.
to the Trinity of the DC, but it makes it boring
Hmm.
because that's what Snyder did.
Hmm.
And instead of there being Superman, Creature Commanders, then Superman,
Hmm.
then it will be Peacemaker or
Hmm.
Waller,
No, Peacemaker.
Supergirl,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Supergirl,
Lantern.
Authority,
Yeah.
yeah, Lanterns, Authority. So we're starting big when it comes to live action, and then we have this smaller projects to
Hmm.
show
Hmm.
people all the pillars of the
Hmm.
DCU. And I think that at some point there will be it. It's leaked as some of the projects, but I don't want to mention it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
But there's
I think it's
a
really interesting to
smaller
contrast
crossover.
this. I think it's
Yeah.
interesting to contrast this with Marvel right now because Marvel is they're at the end of their multiverse saga. It's a little bit too big,
Yeah.
and by the time we get Secret Wars in 2027 or something,
Hmm.
DC will really be in like full force. They'll probably have Batman by then and other things, and
Yeah. That's
it's
why.
interesting that
Mhm.
one is like dying almost, one is ending as the other is rising.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why Marvel is rushing with ending all this universe, all this
to move
MCU,
forward
and
with X-Men. Yeah,
yeah, they want to make Secret Wars as fast as possible in order to
yeah,
start fresh and to be on the same point as DCU, in the
yeah.
same place as DCU, but
But
this DCU.
it, it does take you back just a little bit to if you look at DC. If we go back in time, 2012, Marvel had just done the Avengers, and DC was trying to launch with Man of Steel right after
Yes.
that. Oh, also Green Lantern. We don't talk about that. Then in 2000, around the late 2000s, then we had 2010. So we had Justice League, just as Marvel
Mhm.
was hitting their end game and
Yes.
Infinity War, right? So the two of them have always been kind of in this weird
Yeah.
pattern, I guess. But
Also take a look at this. That when DC introduced multiverse in live action with The Flash season 2,
mhm.
Marvel did it with Doctor Strange right after, a year
The
after
same
this.
time, really, really, really,
Yeah.
the same time. Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And then just shortly after, we got Spider Verse, and then multiverse extravaganzas. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're trying to do things first. So if Marvel does something first, DC has to do it. If DC
hmm
does it, Marvel has to do it. It
Then
doesn't make sense.
the
It makes
comics have
sense,
always
but
been like that. Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense, but it's not a thing that we should care much about.
hmm
Yeah, but I care more about the quality of the
Absolutely.
DCU as a world, of the establishment of this world, of this universe, of the cosmos, rather than if this movie gonna make more money than Captain America or Fantastic Four. It just doesn't
Uh,
matter.
I
I
am a
don't care
little bit
about it.
concerned about Superman versus Fantastic Four, but I just want them both to be great. I
Hmm?
think, and there's also Jurassic World around that time too. But I don't know. I just want good movies, man.
Why people care about Jurassic World?
That makes $1 billion every time.
No. And
Anyway,
also
uh-huh.
Superman. Like this movie, people love James Gunn and people
Mhm.
love Superman. So when you combine those two, you have a success.
Hopefully,
Even
hopefully.
if this movie will be on the level of Guardians of the Galaxy 2,
Mhm.
then I think it will make a lot of money. Basically because it's Superman, because it's not another origin story,
Mhm.
but it's a start of fresh universe. Because to many people, this is the first DCU project. They didn't
Yeah,
watch Creature Commandos, they won't watch it. So Superman Legacy is their first DCU project, and we see what will come of it.
yeah. Well, I think overall we're both kind of optimistic for the future. It was a long conversation, but I think I think it's pretty good. Thank you everyone
Yes.
for watching.
Thank
Please
you.
let us know. Please let us know your thoughts too, because Vic and I we have so many thoughts about this, but I know you guys do too. So put them in the comments below. If you like this review, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Tell us some of your favorite Superman comics and what your thoughts are on the future of the universe. Be sure to also check out my conversation with John, which should be on the channel already. I'm Vin. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Vin Writes Words.
Yeah, I'm Vic. You can find me on Twitter as Rexalke and on this guy.
Be sure to follow thecosmiccircus.com on Blue Sky and Twitter at MyCosmicCircus and at thecosmiccircus.com where you can find more reviews, articles, editorials, and opinions like the ones you just watched. Lots of Superman coverage coming soon. Vic and I both have lots of Superman reviews already on the site, some with a loincloth, some without. So take a look, check them out. Lots and lots of super stuff. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Have a happy new year.
Bye
Bye.
bye.